That has gotta be a cop. The number one thing that you need to buy when you're thinking about tuning your BMW is getting a downpipe. Downpipes are so crucial and so important when it comes to tuning these cars because they free up a ton of restriction on these cars, adding more airflow, which equals more power. And on both of my last BMWs, my M340, my A90 Supra, a catless downpipe was the very first thing I did. These cars don't come very loud from the factory. So getting a downpipe will add the most amount of sound to your BMW and also get it ready to make more power when you tune it. Because we've heard the joke a million times, downpipe and tune, man. So today I'm going to tell you all about catless downpipes versus catted downpipes when I install the IRL 3.5-inch catless downpipes on my G80 M3. I'm going to tell you how to install them because I've got to be honest, they were pretty hard on this car. We're also going to talk about the check engine light when you go catless and find out if these catless downpipes actually made the car sound better or if they made the car sound even worse. But to be honest, I'm loving the way these downpipes sound. So let me tell you why the IRL 3.5-inch catless downpipes are probably the best downpipes for the G80 M3. So I've got to be honest, I actually already installed these downpipes. And while they weren't hard, they were probably one of the most annoying things I've ever installed on any car. And the reason is because this car is xDrive, and chances are if you have a BMW with the S58 engine, you probably have an xDrive M3 or M4. But I will say if you have an M2, it'll probably be a lot easier because you don't have the front transfer case in the way when you're trying to install the downpipes. And the reason I'm not showing you a whole DIY process is because this process is not hard, but it's just extremely tedious. Because on the B58, it was a lot easier. You have access to the downpipe directly underneath the car. You can actually see the ground underneath the car from the engine bay on the B58. But when it comes to the S58, things are a lot tighter, and I'll show you what I mean. So on the S58, let's open up the engine and I'll show you just how much clearance there is on this car, because in reality there really isn't any. You've got both intakes right there, you've got the huge strut brace, and then look over here where the downpipes are supposed to be. Do you see anywhere you can see the downpipes from here? Yeah, there's just no clearance. And coming underneath the car, you also have this huge strut brace that I don't know if you can see underneath, but the entire underside of the car is just covered with this giant skid plate. So I figured instead of showing you, it would be a lot easier for you guys if you're doing this DIY yourself, just to look at some pictures and for me to walk you through just how to install these downpipes. And I'd love to do a DIY on this car, but getting underneath that car and having those horrible camera angles doesn't really do anybody justice, and to be honest, the entire job took me about 6 hours. Now this is my first time installing downpipes on any car, and like I said, this car is also xDrive, so it does have the transfer case in the way, but I'll walk you guys through installing it before I tell you why I bought these downpipes, because they are probably the best downpipes that there are in the market, and I actually mean that. So starting at the top, you have to take this entire strut brace off, and you also are going to want to remove this little bracket right down here, this bolt you're going to want to remove and try to move that bracket right out of the way so you can get better access to your O2 sensors. Now that is the first step, and after doing that, you're going to want to jack up the car, and here's where the tedious part really comes in. I'll put a picture up on the screen right now, but there's a huge strut brace, or I guess a skid plate you can kind of say. This is not the skid plate that you would use to protect your oil cooler, although I do have an oil cooler guard, and if you did put one on, you do need to remove that. But starting in the back where these little plastic winglets are that channel the air, you need to take those off, and underneath there is the bolts for the skid plate. And this entire skid plate has tons of bolts, and they all need to come off because you need to drop this skid plate, which is honestly pretty heavy. So if you have somebody you can call to help you, definitely give them a call because you might need their help. Just remove this skid plate and you'll have access to the downpipes. And there you go, the hard part is pretty much done. From there, it's pretty easy. You just take the downpipes out. It does help if you have an electric ratchet, which I'll link a good one in the description below. And you just need to remove the clamps, take the downpipes out one by one, and then install them in reverse order so you can get the downpipes in. But I'm going to give you guys a couple tips that I used in order to install them easily, because I did have some complications installing it, and trust me, you want to hear these tips because they might save your life. So I actually got shocked by the O2 sensor, so it might be a good idea to disconnect your negative terminal of your battery. Also, never fully tighten the clamps around the turbos until you have the downpipes connected to the exhaust, because if you tighten the downpipes up on the top, it'll be a lot harder to line up the holes and fit the downpipes into the exhaust. If you want to save yourself some money, you could do it on jack stands with a friend. However, I would honestly recommend bringing it to a shop. If they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg for install, the quote that I got for an xDrive model was about $360 to install downpipes. But this video is about the downpipes, so let's talk about catted downpipes versus catless downpipes. So if you plan to race your G80 like I do, I plan to take this car on the track, take it to the drag strip, and even have some fun runs in Mexico, if you know what I mean. 1000% get a catless downpipe. But you also have to think about where you live and what state regulations are where your car is registered. Luckily enough, I have my car registered in Tennessee, where we have no inspections, so I don't have to worry about about getting my car inspected yearly and passing emissions. However, if you live in a place where emission regulations are very strict, or if you don't know a guy, then you might want to just go ahead and get a catted downpipe. But if you're looking for the maximum performance out of your engine and also the loudest sound out of your engine, then you have to go catless. I personally have had catless downpipes on all my cars. I had them on my Supra, I had them on my M340, and I've never regret going catless because of the smell or because of the check engine light or anything, because I knew I was going to tune it eventually, and I knew that the smell wasn't that bad unless my gaskets actually went bad. That's another thing, make sure your gaskets are always good, because if your gaskets are bad, that's what causes leaks, and that's what causes the smell to get into the cabin. As for me right now with catless downpipes, when I'm in a stoplight and I have my windows down, I don't really smell anything whatsoever on the car. But it is important to note that this car does have secondary cats, which can be deleted with a mid-pipe or full exhaust, so this car does only have catless downpipes on it. So if you're on the fence about going catless versus catted, you really have to think about what you want out of the car. If you plan to race the car and want maximum performance, go with catless. If you want the louder of the two, then go catless. If you live in a state where regulations aren't really that strict, go catless. However, I will say I do know somebody with catless downpipes on a BMW 540i that is tuned on MHD, and he is able to pass New York State inspections even though he has a catless downpipe, because for whatever reason MHD, the tune that he chose, doesn't get caught by the New York State emission system, which is honestly a very advanced system and second to only California. However, if you are worried about emissions, if you are worried about passing inspection in your state, or you don't want the loudest sound, you just want to be able to tune your car to stage 2 without having any issues legally, you could just go ahead and buy a 200 cell catted downpipe and you'll be just fine with that. So I went with the IRL 3.5-inch catless downpipes on my G80 M3 for a few reasons. First of all, I've heard nothing but great things about IRL. In searching for the best mid-pipe setup for this car, I would constantly scroll on forums and I would always check the Facebook groups to see what people were saying. And the #1 consensus seemed to be that the best mid-pipe setup for the G80 M3 was the IRL single-length mid-pipe, because not one person that I found was unhappy with their purchase. So I figured, okay, if they make the best mid-pipe for the G80, they probably make really good downpipes too, right? Well, I wanted very specific downpipes for this car because the largest diameter downpipes you can probably get on this car seem to be 3.5 inches. And a lot of other places seem to be out of stock, but I decided to check on IRL's website and they had them in stock. So I ordered them, and when I got them in, I was actually really surprised. These downpipes were some of the best quality downpipes that I had ever seen on any car. They seemed like they weren't just any piece of cheap metal that was dropshipped from China, and on top of that, they came plated, which helps a little bit with heat and also quite a bit with corrosion. And especially if you have a catless downpipe and you have all these nasty fumes coming out of the car, 2-3 years down the line, that downpipe is going to wear down, and you really want this thing to last if you're keeping the car for a while. So that's something I really appreciated about IRL, and also for the quality that I got, they were a great price, so that really couldn't be beat. I was very happy with my purchase, and it's safe to say that I probably will be getting a mid-pipe from them as well, so make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for that. But I know you guys have been waiting to hear this thing for this entire time that I've been talking, so let's give you guys a cold start of the G80 M3 with just IRL catless downpipes. No intakes or anything, but you can hear the turbo a lot from the downpipes, but these things make the car sound freaking amazing. do got to be careful because there are some deer around here, but man, this thing just sounds so good. Sometimes this car pops and sometimes it doesn't. But I love this, the shifting sounds. I do have the check engine light, but like, to be honest, it doesn't really do much. It's just telling you that like, hey, there you're missing cats. Like, you should probably check it out. Like, it's something that's required by law, you know. If we didn't have to put cats on our cars, like, nobody would put cats on our cars. Especially a performance car. Every car would come straight pipe from the factory or with an exhaust. But it's just a regulation thing, you know. The check engine light, it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't negatively affect the car. There is a lot of debate online. People say like premature turbo seal wear and whatnot, but honestly, the car feels a little bit faster. Oh boy, the car does feel a little bit faster with just the catless downpipes. Now I also have XHP stage 3 transmission on here, and it works great. So maybe that helps the shifting sounds just a little bit, but I don't know, like, the shifting sounds sound so good with just these catless downpipes. Some bikers over there. On this huge bridge. You do get like a good amount of burbles, like crackling, pops, I guess. It's not as like sharp as a B58, I'd say. It is a lot more muffled because you do have those secondary cats, and you also do have the big suitcase muffler in the back. You also have 2 resonators on this car, I believe, as well, right behind the secondary cats. A single mid-pipe or an equal length mid-pipe, just an aftermarket mid-pipe, would delete both those secondary cats and the resonators. But with just the downpipes, it sounds so good. Let me roll the windows up. Maybe you could hear it a little bit better. I don't have active sound design turned on. I did turn it off on this car. That's one of the most annoying things really in this car, is the active sound design. It's just fake pumped in audio. I don't want to scare these bikers, but I really want to downshift. When I saw the downpipes and I got them in hand, they were just really nice. Like, I was just so happy that they looked like that. And I was also happy because it's going to protect against corrosion, rust, and everything. If you live in the Northeast or you live anywhere that snows a lot and you get salt on the road, then these are great downpipes for you, because it's going to help make sure your downpipes don't get rusted and corroded. I pulled my old exhaust off my old car. It wasn't really rusty, but it was just really dirty to the point where I couldn't really see the metal anymore. My old downpipe was cooked. what the heck is going on. Is he streaming? But yeah, they're gonna help against corrosion. I believe they're electroplated. That's the process that he told me that it was. I think getting a single mid pipe is gonna really help the sound of this thing way more than just the catless downpipes. Downpipes themselves, they don't sound bad, and they sound loud from the outside. I wish I could do a flyby, but I just don't have anybody to hold the camera for me. Maybe I should ask the trumpet guy, but yeah, they sound really, really good. I don't want to mess up his flow, so. Then you upshift all the way, and it sounds quiet. Shout out to that guy. All right, let's get a little bit more rowdy here. That is gotta be a cop. That has gotta be a cop. Let's go in manual mode. Woo! Damn. Oh my gosh. That XHP throws you back in your seat. I forgot about that. Damn, they sound so good. I can't wait to see what it's gonna sound like with the catless downpipes and with the mid pipe. They said I should just go with a resonated because this engine does sound really, really raspy at times because it's twin turbo setup. And that all-wheel drive just plants you to the ground. But I don't want the engine to sound raspy. I don't want, you know, the exhaust to sound like when I think of rasp, I think of it just like a straight pipe Coyote. I don't want it to sound like that. I want it to sound good and refined and have a good tone. I'll probably keep the stock axle back on for now. Everyone says just do IRL mid pipe, and then keep the stock axle back, and then whatever you want for your downpipes, and it'll sound great. Oh, what the? Is that a turkey? Bro, oh my, what the heck? Oh my. All right, let's chill out in case there's more turkeys. So right before we end this video, let's try to do a launch over there on the bridge, but I want to take this opportunity to ask you guys to subscribe. But before we leave, I've got to launch it for you guys on the bridge right here. Just hopefully there's nobody here. So it's not going into launch control because the gas light is on, so I'm just gonna hammer the gas really. Oh man, that sounds so good. So good. Ooh, that was a big one. It sounds so good. I can't wait to get a mid pipe for this thing. Oh my gosh, it's gonna sound so much better. But man. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in anything from IRL, I'll leave their link down below in the description. I also link the best installation tools down in the description box below. So yeah, guys, as always, my name is Ryan from Gears and Gains. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe for all the weekly BMW content and G80 content. I'm Ryan from Gears and Gains, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.